Welcome to For Real Talk with Donnie Stevens on this cold Saturday coming from Mansfield, Texas. Just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about some of the topics for this weekend coming up in sports. Uh, Exciting stuff, really. You got the WWE WrestleMania this weekend. You got the Masters. You've got the NBA with some really key games going into the playoffs coming up in the next week. We're in the first week of Major League Baseball, and there's just a lot of really good things going on, and the NFL draft will be coming up. So we'll go through and talk about a few things real quick. If you don't know, the Thunder and the Rockets play tonight. That is a huge game. The Thunder right now are battling in the West. They're trying to get in that playoffs. They're currently about the fifth seed, I believe, and they could go anywhere from a fourth seed to an eighth seed or not even making it to the playoffs. So big game for the Thunder tonight. Really hope those guys can step up and finish this season off strong. Um, I don't know if anybody watched the Sixers and the Cavs game last night. Crazy. Sixers came out, was dominant early. They were up 30. Then LeBron kind of did what LeBron does and ended up making it a game. He missed some key free throws with the second left. They missed a tip off. They ended up losing 132 to 130. So exciting stuff. This is my favorite time of the year. You've got about a week left in the NBA season. A lot of people don't know really what's going to happen. Are the Warriors going to repeat? Are the Rockets, are they for real? Are they going to make a run? Is there anybody else in the West, the Spurs, or can they make a run? And can anybody contend with the Warriors? In the East, everybody always thinks it's automatically LeBron. They're going to go to the finals. Hey, I know with Kyrie going down in Boston that, it's up in the air. Toronto's going to be the number one seed, but they haven't been proven. What's your thoughts, guys? Be sure to, let me know, leave some comments on there and see what you think. But me personally, as of right now, as today, I would say I think it's going to be the Warriors and the Cavaliers again in the finals, but we'll see. There's a good whole month of basketball to go, but a lot of exciting stuff. If you didn't know, last night the WWE had their Hall of Fame on this inaugural on their weekend of WrestleMania. They got NXT Takeover tonight, which should be a great show. Then WrestleMania tomorrow night. Excited to see WrestleMania. I know that I'll be watching that. See if the Undertaker makes a return against John Cena. Can Roman Reigns beat Brock Lesnar? How's Rousey going to do in the WWE? So far, haven't been very excited with her promos. Haven't, I just don't know if she's ready for the big moment yet. But if anybody, Triple H and Stephanie and Kurt Angle, they're going to try to ease her in the best they can and really try to make her transition really good. UFC 223 tonight as well. This has been a totally crazy weekend though for them, and I'm sure Dana White is just wanting to get through this weekend. I don't know if you saw Conor McGregor flew in from Ireland, ended up trashing the place, injured a couple people. There's been 3 or 4 fights canceled because of everything that's went on. And you had Ferguson that couldn't, he wasn't medically cleared, so him and Khabib ain't fighting. So it's interesting in the UFC, and I know obviously they put a lot of marketing dollars in for this show, so Dana White's probably, he's already lost all his hair, but I'm sure he would lose some more if he could. But I'll definitely be trying to tune in for that tonight and see what's going on, and curious to see what's going to happen with Conor. You know, the dude's a nutcase right now, but he's definitely entertaining to watch. But I think his antics were just totally, it was WWE type TV, but and I don't think he meant for anybody to get hurt. So it'll be interesting to see on the lawsuits or if he fights again for the UFC. You would think, Dana White said right now they're not going to do business together, but you definitely would think that as much money as he's made in the past and he's one of the top draws, that they're definitely going to do some business together down the road. And another guy they kind of mentioned, Dana, this week, mentioned Brock Lesnar will be making his comeback to the UFC soon. Kind of want to see what people's thoughts are on that. Yeah, he was dominant for a time when he came in, but the heavyweight division's totally different now. The styles have changed. I just don't know if Brock's going to be successful in there, but we'll see what goes on. Obviously people want to see Brock Lesnar. He's a top draw. It's kind of moving on to the next thing too. I don't know if anybody kind of noticed, but Triple G and Canelo was supposed to be on May 5th. They ended up Canelo dropped out of the fight, and then, he did fail a drug test and just going through some things right now. That was one boxing match I was excited to see, which in boxing it's very rare right now to be excited about anything. So we'll see what happens if Triple G's still going to fight on the 5th or when him and Canelo are going to get together. Masters, I hope you guys are watching the Masters today. This is what they call moving day in the Masters. A lot of good golf so far in the first 2 rounds. I know a lot of people are probably disappointed that Tiger hadn't played as good as, they thought he would. But, he's still coming back. He said it's a process. It takes time. It's not going to be, overnight that he's able to, be back to his greatness. So, and the Masters is a tough course. But really going into this weekend, it's going to be interesting to see today and tomorrow how it kind of plays out with, you got Patrick Reed in first place right now at 9 under. And then Lashman in second at 7 under. And then right there you got Stenson just battling. He's in third right now. And then you got McIlroy and Spieth and then Dustin Johnson. And so you can't ask for a better weekend. Obviously Jordan Spieth, he has, won it before. He's a guy that can definitely win it again. McIlroy, he's had chances before in the past and came up short. This is one tournament that, he's capable of winning too. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens on that. Mock draft. The draft will be coming up pretty soon at the end of the month here in Dallas, Texas. I know that, there's a lot of people talking about this year's draft. There's 4 quarterbacks that, could be franchise type quarterbacks. Who's going to take who? Is the Browns going to take Barkley? Some of the mock drafts I've seen right now, everybody says without a doubt Darnold should be number 1. Then I've seen Kiper come out and say that he thinks Josh Allen should be number 1. A couple of people have kind of passed on Rosen. They're not saying if he's the guy that they think that he can be. Baker Mayfield, everybody keeps on talking about him. Will he go high? Will he be a bust? Is he the next Johnny Manziel? Being an OU fan and watching Baker the last 3 years, guys, I'm going to say no. I think Baker Mayfield is a competitor. I think if he gets in the right situation, I think he has a chance to be a great quarterback in the NFL. And I love him. I love his spirit. I love everything he's about. I know a lot of people across the country don't like Baker Mayfield, but if you're not an OU fan, it's easy to root against him. But definitely, you want him on your team. With Cleveland having the first and the 4th pick, a lot of people want to know: are they gonna trade down? Are they gonna take a quarterback? Or are they gonna take Barkley? Personally, me, if I was picking for them, you've got 3 to 4 quarterbacks that could be franchise type quarterbacks. I know typically you don't take a running back at a number 1, but to me, Saquon Barkley is a can't miss player. He is like an Adrian Peterson, or even a mixture, I think, of a Barry Sanders. This is a guy that you can't miss on, and I really think he is going to be one of the next great backs. You look at the Cowboys a few years ago, they took Zeke. I know he's had some issues off the field, but they took him at a 4, which is a high pick as well. But you noticed last year with Zeke being out that the Cowboys, their offense, kind of sputtered a little bit, and they weren't able to do what they did the year before. So me personally, if I'm the GM of Cleveland, which you guys have screwed up things for years, you've taken multiple quarterbacks that have been bust, I would probably take Barkley number 1 overall. Keep your 4th pick as well, and then take a quarterback. Because too, the Giants, they're different things. Are they going to get a quarterback, to replace Eli down the road? We don't know. I would personally, if I was them, take one, but they might not. They might go for defense. It's been years since they've had a top 5 pick, and the last time they had a top 5 pick, they took Lawrence Taylor. So the Giants could be prone to be going for Chubbs and a defensive player. Then you got the Jets at the 3rd pick. Hey, they might end up trading down. They might be going for a quarterback as well. Don't really know what they're going to do. Cleveland, then it brings back to you at 4th, and you could get a Darnold if he's still there. You could get a Rosen if he's still there. You could get a Baker Mayfield, or You can get a Josh Allen. One of those guys is still going to be there at the fourth pick, so that is definitely, to me, I think, no brainer. Take Saquon Barkley at number one. Now, granted, you guys, I'll put a poll up later today, and you tell me what your mock top five draft would be. Like, curious to see what people think. Um, Moving on to that, really, it's just a lot of exciting things going on. I look forward to getting this show kicked off. I had a few people call me today and ask about when we're going to go live. Well, this first episode is recorded, and we're working on getting kind of the kinks and everything worked out. Eventually, we will do a Facebook Live weekly show. I will have special guests on there. You can call in. It'll be an interactive show, and just really excited to, kind of get this project going even more and talk about sports. It's something I love to talk about. I know everybody does. There's always great debates when it comes to sports. We all have opinions, and that's great. That's what life's about, is being able to agree to disagree and have our opinions. There will be some polls coming up on the Facebook page, getting ready for next week. We're going to dig in next week, kind of do a Masters recap. Major League Baseball, we'll kind of talk about there because it'll be 2 weeks into the season, so we'll start to see where we can talk a little more baseball. Also, probably we'll be getting into the NBA playoffs next week. We'll know who's going to be what seeds and who's playing what. We'll also just any other topics you want to talk about, we will definitely do that as well. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I will probably be doing some videos tomorrow during WrestleMania. So if you have any questions or anything, you can definitely tune in and give your opinion. I hope everybody has a great Saturday and enjoy it with your family. And we'll talk soon. This is Donnie Stevens. Have a great day.